Oh, good morning, everyone. Man, I have not done one of these walk-in talks in a fat minute. I don't know if kids or Gen Z or whatever, or millennials, I have no idea if they still say that or not, fat minute, but it's been a long time, a real long time. And I don't know if I've ever done one. And if I have, it's been a real long time on this backup channel. But you know what? Today, I just couldn't resist because I am literally in short sleeves. I could possibly even wear shorts, but I'm not because it's that unbelievably warm. On December 17th? You know, this is insane. I mean, and it's supposed to rain a little later. The sun was out briefly. There it is, behind the clouds. But it's mostly an overcast day, you know, but I got the day off today, so I decided to go ahead and do this. I haven't gotten a lot of exercise lately in the way of walks and things of that nature, but yeah, man, I haven't done one of these in forever. I know some people like them and other people are like, get to the point. Oh, man. And I will. But I have to say this, today's December 17th, and it is my folks' 55th wedding anniversary. 5-5, double grace. So I got to give them a call later. And yeah, 55 years, man. That's got to be some kind of record. I don't know how many people are staying married for 55 years or even live that long nowadays. But yeah, 55th wedding anniversary today. Man, amazing. Actually, I'm sorry, that's tomorrow. Yeah, I got my days mixed up. Today's the 17th, right? Yeah. Wait, what? No, today is the 18th. See, I have no idea. I think it's the 18th. If today's Wednesday, yeah, that's right. It's the 18th. Yeah, okay. It is today. See, I'm all jacked up. Anyway, but yeah, I wanted to go ahead and do a walk and talk because, like I said, I haven't done one of these in quite a while. I got the energy, I got the time. So, and I do finally have something to share. Over the last couple days, I haven't had much to share at all, to be honest with you. What can I say? Everybody else is doing all the sharing, okay? They're making the videos. They're putting all the information out there. They're doing their live streams. They're doing this, they're doing that. I haven't had much to say, you know. I put a lot of stuff on the community page, and now it's to the point where I'm just basically putting like a popcorn emoji and like a movie emoji and stuff like that up there because that's what it's like. It's like Hank said from God's Soldiers Watchmen yesterday, you know, it's like living in a movie. You know, he put up clips from the movie They Live from 1987 with the late Roddy Piper, and, you know, most people are probably familiar with that. And, you know, I talked about Independence Day a while back, and man, I mean, just pick your apocalyptic sci-fi type movie or television show, and we're living it now. Colony, X-Files, The Last of Us. I mean, you name it. We're living it now. So I'm not going to get into all that. If people want to listen to more of that stuff or whatever, you can go to my community page. I'm sharing on this backup channel because I'm still got the strike on the main one, you know, for another week. And you can, you know, look at stuff to your heart's content. You know, I mean, I'm sharing all kinds of stuff to the community page. But this is more of a warning, but not in the way that people are probably thinking. This is one of those things that I've observed and I want to share with everybody. And as maybe not necessarily a warning to you, but maybe you have a family member, a friend, a coworker, or extended family or whatever that are dealing with this. I don't know, but this is what I've observed. And I'm also doing this so if people feel led to, they can pray for this man. And because this is what I observed, okay? Without getting into great detail, personal detail, whatnot, just before Thanksgiving, I had to go find other means of work. Let's put it that way, okay? I'm not going to get into great detail, okay? But yeah, something happened where, I'll just put it like this. some people get butt hurt, and then when they have their opportunity, they take revenge. Let's just put it like that, okay? And so, you know, I was left out in the cold. And, you know, it's a setback. It's annoying. It's happened to me many, many times in my life. You kind of get used to it. There comes a point, I think, in your life at times where you kind of get used to being treated like crap, you know, being disappointed or just getting hit, whether expected or unexpected, you know, and you kind of get used to it. You know, you don't really want to get used to it, but you kind of do. So it's just like one of those things you're like, oh man, all right, here we go. But I've learned over the years, basically like the last 10 or whatever, to expect the unexpected and to be prepared as much as you possibly can, to kind of put some stuff aside. And I've tried to do that for myself and my family over basically like the last 10 years, really. So to have an emergency fund, something for backup. When unexpected things happen, emergencies happen, things are outside of your control or whatnot. So it was annoying, it was irritating, but yeah, do I still need to continue to work? Sure, and I want to work. I'm healthy, I'm fit. I feel like I should work. I feel like there's no reason for me not to. And I want to be out there. I don't necessarily want to be like immersed in Babylon per se, but I do want to still pull my weight, and I still want to be, how do I say it, a productive member of society, okay, for whatever that's worth. So I've, beefed up, updated my resume and whatnot, and I wanted to find things that were closer to home, though, because, this was way before. Well, not way before. I guess we've been dealing with the drone stuff and whatever for about a month now. But it was around the same time. I guess it was just prior to that. But I've really felt in my heart that it's like, I want to find something close to home. I'm tired of driving constantly all over the place away from home. And I want to find something closer to home. That way, if something does happen to go down, if I can't get back to the house, at least wherever my headquarters is or wherever base operations are or whatever you want to call it, okay, or home operations, if that's closer to home, if I can get back there, then I can get home from there, or I can have somebody come get me or whatever the case may be, or even walk. It'd take a long, long time, but if necessary. So I was looking for something like 20-25 minutes away from the house, and I found two things. And one of them, the one I wanted to do, they didn't get back with me, but I actually did follow up with them because I was kind of curious why they didn't get back with me. Not because I was being cocky, it's just that I knew I was qualified, more than qualified for the position. So apparently, and this has been happening lately, I mean, I've heard about it happening. Some people don't get text or phone calls or anything, or even emails. It's like everything gets intercepted. And so they told me, said, yeah, we tried to call you a few times. We'll have to resubmit your information. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it. So I'm waiting to hear back on that. But in the meanwhile, getting to the heart of the matter here, in the meanwhile, I had to take a position that I really didn't want to take. But there were other things I applied for, but they were a lot further away, and I didn't really know if I wanted to do them. This, I was like, okay, I can endure this. I can deal with it. Don't really want to do it, but at least it's close to the house and makes pretty decent money for as long as that matters. And so I decided, okay, I think I can do this. Well, here's the thing about work nowadays. If people, are in the workforce, you know this. I'm just going to be blunt. Training sucks, okay? I'm used to going to a position, a job, whatever the case may be, where I get decent training. And when I used to train security officers and whatnot, and even in the military, when I had, younger sailors underneath me, I made sure they knew their job and what they were supposed to do. I answered all their questions, and the training took as long as it took before I would throw them to the wolves and leave them on their own. That's not the way it is in the world now. First of all, they want to train you on an iPad, basically, with very little classroom or OJT instruction. And you're supposed to learn everything from an iPad. And then they do have classroom instruction. People answer your questions or whatever, but it's very brief. It's very limited. And then, you know, what I was doing is a delivery job, so I had to take a road test and everything. And that was fine. But I thought that I was going to get some better training because I'm not familiar with the whole thing and the routes and everything else and all the policies and procedures. I mean, you're looking like 2 days of classroom training and a road test, basically. And that's the extent of it. Well, I thought I was going to get some more OJT training, right? Well, I get this guy. His name is Brandon. And I'm going to tell you his name so that way people can pray for him if they want to, okay, if they feel led to. He's my trainer, right? He's a terrible trainer, okay? I don't know if it's because he didn't want to do it and he got forced into it. I don't know what it was, but technically he wasn't even supposed to be training me at all because he was supposed to have been grounded because he ran a red light, and the policy is if you run a red light in this particular position, you get grounded. But they broke that rule and they let him train me anyway, if you want to call it that. The training was like 2 hours, and then he threw me to the wolves, left me on my own. And I was like, this is it? Well, that's all you need, kind of thing. I'm like, are you sure? I don't know. I don't feel real confident about this. Oh no, you'll be fine. And in the process of meeting this guy and talking to him, you know, I'm not shy, okay? Especially when people disrespect my Lord and Savior, you know. And you know, he blurted out JC one time about something, and I said, hey, that's not necessary, kind of thing. And he just looked at me like, what's wrong with you, Jesus freak or something? But it kind of got awkward after that, you know. But I just noticed the guy was just like really arrogant, okay, very cocky, and he got more cocky, okay, because after he left me on my own, and I almost quit that very first night because I didn't get done for a long time after my route. And I'm not going to tell you who it is because I don't want to disparage anybody and I don't want to get sued, okay? But let's just put it this way. I got sent out into a very rural area. Now, if I would have known that I was going to do rural area deliveries, I'm not saying I wouldn't have taken the job. It would have just been nice to have known that because these vehicles are not equipped for rural areas. The tires are terrible and they're just not equipped. They're very top heavy and easy to tip, easy to get stuck. Learn that very, very quickly. A lot of people learn that very, very quickly that work for this company. And so because of that reason, the vehicles are really meant for more city travel, for more road travel. But a lot of these rural area deliveries, you're dealing with gravel roads and dirt roads, especially as much rain as we've had lately. Very, very easy to get stuck. Very easy to tip a vehicle. Very easy. So they didn't really have any policies other than be safe, okay? Just be safe, use good choices, decisions, or whatever. Well, it gets dark a lot earlier now too, right? And so they don't start the deliveries till, you don't get on the road really till like almost 11 a.m. Sometimes later, which is ridiculous, okay? Because it gets dark so early. I mean, this is how ridiculous the whole thing is, right? So a lot of your deliveries you're doing in the dark. Your lights aren't that great. You're in rural areas, so there's not street lights or anything. A lot of people, if they do have their Krampus lights up or whatever, you know, a lot of people don't, but if they do, that kind of helps to illuminate the roads and the houses a little bit. A lot of the houses and mailboxes aren't marked very well. So there's a lot of issues, right? A lot of issues. So I almost quit on the first night, man. I almost got attacked by a pit bull because people let their dogs run out everywhere. And the dogs come upon you, and if they're quiet, if they're stealth, you don't hear them, you don't see them. Because it's black, man. It's pitch black. It's dark. There's hardly any lighting out there, right? I was really mad after that first night. I let them know how mad I was too. They pretty much talked me into staying. Because I'm just like, man, this sucks. I can't believe you people did this to me, right? The training didn't get much better after that. The work didn't get much better after that. But it wasn't just me. It was everybody. It was a lot, not everybody, but a lot of people, right? A lot of people having these issues. And the reason I know so much is because there's like a WhatsApp, if people are familiar with that. You have to download to your phone because everything is, man, we are so hosed if they take things down, bring up Starlink or whatever the new system is or whatever. We are so hosed, man, because everybody is dependent upon technology in everything, in every way. I mean, it is crazy. GPS, scanning packages, you know, WhatsApp to communicate, on and on and on it goes. So in the WhatsApp chat group, everybody can basically talk about what's going on in their area, what they're doing, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Well, like I said, over the last few weeks, a lot of people have gotten stuck. And that costs the company, the delivery service providers, you know, the people that own these vehicles away. It costs them money to get these vehicles towed out of the mud and the dirt and gravel or whatever else when they get stuck on people's driveways or private roads or whatever the case may be. So that gets old for them because it gets expensive. It gets very costly. I understand all that. But you got to understand your vehicles suck. Your tires are terrible. People can't see out there. You start the routes way too late. It gets dark too early, but these are the ridiculous policies. So a lot of people get stuck. Well, this one guy, Brandon, who briefly trained me, who probably never should have had a better trainer to begin with. But anyway, I met this guy briefly. He brags on himself in the WhatsApp all the time. I'll never get stuck. I'll never get stuck. You people are stupid for getting stuck. I can't believe you get stuck. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, oh, it must be nice to be so perfect, right? Well, we all know about pride going before a fall. We all know, oh, and it's worse than him getting stuck. I'll get to that in a second. We all know about that. We all know about we reap what we sow, the basic biblical principles. Now, people that don't believe in Jesus, people that don't read the word, the people that don't pay attention, and they're not aware of the times we live in, they have no clue about what's going on. They don't think about this at all. They're just like, hey, I just do what I want, when I want, how I want, where I want kind of thing. Yeah, well, that's not working out so well for certain people. But we know about these basic biblical precepts, these basic concepts, right? Well, good old Brandon, after bragging about how he'll never get stuck, and it's so much worse for him now, because he didn't get stuck. No. Matter of fact, to prevent himself from getting stuck, he winds up, and I don't know how you do this. You must have weak ankles to begin with. I don't know. But he winds up trying to make a turn out of I guess goes off the pavement somewhere. And he tries to turn so hard or whatever. I don't know what he was doing. I have no clue. I wasn't there. But he winds up breaking his ankle driving in 2 different places. Fractures his ankle in 2 different places while driving. How? I have no idea. That's the way I understand it. I wasn't there. But the way he described it in the WhatsApp was he either broke his ankle while driving or he stepped wrong while getting out. I don't know what he did. But somehow, while in or around the vehicle, this dude winds up breaking his ankle in 2 different places. That's worse than getting stuck. That's a whole lot worse than getting stuck. You get stuck, you get suspended for a week or more, depending upon what they decide. Which I think is ridiculous and unfair too, personally, but I understand it from a financial aspect. It costs money to tow the vehicles out and everything. They want to teach you a lesson. They want to make sure you don't do it again. So you're going to learn your lesson. That's how they discipline you. I get it. Okay. But this dude broke his ankle, so he can't do anything for weeks now. If it even matters that far. Who knows? I'm not getting into all the prophetic possibilities of this month and next month or whatever. As I said, people can look at my community page. You can watch whatever video you want to, read whatever prophecy, word of knowledge, dream, vision you want to on that, blah, blah, blah. I have my opinions. I will get into something briefly on that shortly, but for the most part, I'm focusing on this. Because it's a warning. It's a warning to all of us. Don't brag. Don't be cocky. Don't be arrogant. Don't mock other people because you think they're stupid because of what they've done. I mean, I'm preaching to myself here too, man. I'm preaching to the choir, right? You know, keep your mouth shut, which I'm trying to learn to do even more. And but don't mock other people. Don't disparage other people. Don't put other people down. Brag on yourself. You know, have some humility, man. Because now he's going to be nursing an ankle. So it's so much worse than him getting stuck. He'll be out for a long time, losing lots of money now because he can't drive. So, in the meanwhile, and one person called him out, wasn't me. I'm just reading this stuff, and they said, hey, man, they didn't say that, you know, they were diplomatic about it, but they said, hey, and it's just like, I mean, you shouldn't have said what you said of making fun of people about being stuck. And he didn't have anything to say about that. You know, because yeah, you can, and he still, this is the pride, this is the arrogance. Even though he broke his ankle, the dude still bragged about not getting stuck. Well, at least I didn't get stuck. Well, congratulations. But you broke your ankle. So you tell me what's worse, right? Unbelievable, the pride, the arrogance out there. And it's just, it exudes in this nation. It exudes in people. So prideful, so arrogant. And we all know it goes before the fall. We all know we reap what we sow. All of us. So it's kind of a warning and a lesson, I guess, for each of us to just, you know, treat others the way we want to be treated as much as possible. Keep your mouth shut. Don't relish in other people's, how do I say it, downfalls and activities. And, you know, when you do find out about people being exposed or this and that, yeah, do they deserve it? Absolutely. But I wouldn't relish in it. You know, if you feel led, pray for mercy. Pray for salvation for Brandon. That's what I pray for. I pray for his salvation. Pray for the healing of his ankle, but most importantly, his salvation. You know, so people will humble themselves and they'll come to Jesus before it's too late. What's Eric Hale continually say? You know, come to Jesus, return to Jesus before the return of Jesus. I like that. Return to Jesus before the return of Jesus. You know, so I don't know. Just something for all of us to keep in mind, I think. All of us to, you know, keep in the back of our minds and in our hearts. It's just show some mercy, some compassion, you know. I mean, I've mentioned before, when people push me too far, they push me too far, and I don't feel bad about that because I've warned them and warned them and warned them and warned them and warned them. Don't push me, don't push me, don't push me, don't push me, don't push me. But they keep pushing me, then I'm done with them. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. As a matter of fact, if they're preaching false doctrine or whatever, or they're very arrogant or cocky themselves, or they're bringing other people down, we're supposed to avoid such people as these, right? Isn't that what the word says? Avoid people like this. You don't need these people in your life. You don't want them in your life. You know, avoid them. You know, you're not being mean. You're not being cruel. You're just not communicating with them. It's like, I got nothing to say to you. We don't have anything to talk about. I'm avoiding you because you're toxic. Because all you want to do is you know, brag on yourself and, you know, make it all about you. And, or at least that's the impression that's given and whatnot. So anyway, that being said, let me tell y'all about one other thing here. I told people, getting into the prophetic a little bit here, but not too much. But I told people that I was watching from the 10th through the 17th. And it hasn't disappointed. Has it had the major events I was expecting? No. But it hasn't disappointed because there's been a lot of stuff going on. Lots of things. Like I said, I'm just like throwing up the popcorn and the movie emojis now. I mean, because it's crazy. It's like living in a movie every day. It's like living in a movie. So it hasn't disappointed. So I'm getting out of breath. I'm going straight uphill here. This is a good walk. Haven't done this in a while. Anyway, so I'm watching for one more thing, even though technically my watch date period has ended. But I've heard enough and read enough, and I believe enough that I think one more major event may happen or one major event. I wouldn't say more, because nobody would say that. None of this is major events. People are out in the street, looting, rioting, panicking, freaking out. I mean, not yet. They don't have reason to. But I'm looking for one major event by the end of this week. I don't have to say anything more, because if it happens, I won't have to say anything. It'll be that obvious. It'll be that major. It'll be that, it won't be able to be ignored. Let's put it that way. And it'll affect everybody throughout this country. Maybe even through other countries. I don't know. We'll see if the event I'm looking for comes to pass or not. But that's what I'm looking for personally. One major event by the end of this week. And if it happens, everybody will know. And if it's something else that I wasn't thinking of that occurs, you know what? Lord's will be done. And if nothing, then Lord's will be done. So anyway, we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Just continue to keep your head on a swivel. I did have one person contact me, and I mean, I've suggested to people for years to get out of the major cities, and they were wondering what they should do. And they lived in the New York area, New Jersey area. So, hey, since you're contacting me, since you're asking me, if it were me, I'd get out of those areas. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but if it were me, I don't think I'd hang out there. If I saw drones or whatever in the sky over my house or where I live, my community, whatever, every night or in the general vicinity, I don't think I'd hang out there. That's me personally. I think I would go someplace else, so maybe where there weren't as many drones or no drones at all. That's me. But yeah, but definitely look up into the skies every once in a while and see if they're around your area. But like I said, I'm not telling anybody what to do or anything, but if they are spraying toxins and other things that can harm and kill us, like the chemtrails and all that jazz, I don't think I'd hang out. I think I'd leave for a while. But I understand not everybody's able to do that. They don't have the finances, they don't have the means, they don't have transportation. I get all of that. But if you are able to, a lot of people are planning to travel and everything anyway, or about to leave for holidays to go travel, whatever. I think I'd get out. That's just my personal opinion on it. Anyway, I think that's about it. I don't really have much else to say. Coming up on the 30-minute mark, so hope y'all have a good, blessed day. Like I said, I just want to get out, get a walk and talk in. Haven't done one forever, and the weather is just unbelievably warm. I cannot believe how warm this weather is on December 18th. It's crazy, man. And I know there's cold blasts to other areas and horrible weather and winter temperatures and freezing temperatures in other areas. But down here, it feels like the beginning of fall or spring or something. It's just more dreary than that, but it's unbelievably warm. That's good news, though, for the people in North Carolina, Western Carolina, and other areas, because they won't have to be concerned about freezing as much now. So thank you, Lord, for the warmer weather for the places that need it. And those areas that are just getting hammered with snow and rain and sleet and ice and all the other winter blasts and Arctic blasts coming in. I guess there's going to be a warm up and another Arctic blast or something. Got to continue to pay attention to Mark from Weatherman Plus. I hope people are ready. I hope they're prepared for these weather events as well as other things. Now is definitely the time. Oh yeah, and I got sent this. If people need propane, apparently online they can buy propane. Now the delivery I don't know, but it's pretty cheap. And I guess some areas are reducing the prices of propane right now. So if people need propane or butane or whatever else, that just because somebody sent me some information on that. Ammo is the same thing. Certain areas have ammo on sale right now. So I don't know, just whatever you need to look into. I guess just do your own research on that. But yeah, because it's so bad now. Getting back to how I first started this, with some of these delivery vehicles, if you live in rural areas, you may not get your packages because they're literally telling us to bring them back because it's too dangerous to deliver. I mean, some people have unbelievably long private roads, driveways of nothing but dirt and gravel, and those vehicles can't get up there. I said, well, yeah, park on the side of the street and walk. Sure. Yeah, depending upon how many packages there are and the type of walk. Not everybody's in that good a physical condition. Some of those walks are really long walks. Plus that, you're still walking on soft gravel, dirt, mud, with all the rain and everything. Easy to trip and fall. They're telling us to bring them back, folks. So people may not be getting their packages because it's getting too dangerous to deliver. Just being honest with you. So it is what it is, man. People choose to live where they choose to live, and that's fine, that's great. But when you want packages delivered to your address and you live out in the sticks on gravel and dirt roads, muddy areas, you may not get your packages. Depends on how willing the driver is to take them, because they don't have to. Because even parking out on the road, some of these roads are so narrow, you put the flashers on or whatever, you're still taking up half the road. Now, if people are doing that for short periods of time, that's fine. But if it takes a while to walk the packages up the driveway or whatever, that's not cool either, because you're blocking the road. It's between a rock and a hard place, man. So just letting you know, if you order certain packages, you live in rural areas or whatever, you may or may not get them. I'm telling you firsthand. At least the company I work for, or am contracted to, I should say, they that's their policy now, because it's just getting too dangerous and the vehicles aren't equipped for that type of travel, for those type of rural areas. They're more equipped for city travel, you know, suburb travel type things. Okay, that's all I have. Hope you all have a good and blessed day. Take care, and maybe I'll talk to you again some other time. Maybe it'll be on the main channel again eventually, I don't know, but this will have to do for now. All right, take care. Bye-bye.